Hey, it's the Whaddya Book Show, Scary Stories. That's Red Bear screaming in the corner there. Oh, brother. I am Bear. The book show is starring me, Bear, and Penguin.
That's me.
And Red Bear. Everybody knows me because my face is always screaming on those signs.
It's off camera.
That's true. What?
Sign's off camera.
Who?
Sign is off camera. Sign is off camera.
And the Pips. Can you see them? Can you see the Pips?
Yeah, we can see it.
And the whole Whaddya Book Show is rated PG. So if you want to exercise your parental guidance there, adults, that's your warning. Well, I get scared very easily, and I've been able to survive these. It's true, but he has passed out on a couple occasions. Yeah, I did.
Especially when I pull quick ones with my legendary arsenal of masks.
That's right. Penguin and I have just come back from a weekend in the woods where I spent the weekend protecting Cub Scouts from timber wolves.
You ran around screaming in circles when Mr. Feeling was bringing in fire from the campfire outside.
Yeah, well, fire's different, but the timber wolves, I drove them all back into the wild. Wow, that sounds exciting.
You did not.
Don't believe him.
Hey, it's a great story. I had my ice cream spoon and I said,
I was sitting on him the entire time.
Well, we're not sure because you fell asleep at one point.
Actually, no.
Anyway.
You were locked. I had sealed it out completely. There was no way out except for the head hole, which I had sealed around my neck.
I got out of that.
Actually, no. You could not because I was sitting on you.
Yeah, you.
I weigh 70 pounds.
Yeah, well.
You only have 40 pounds of muscle.
I'm a bear. Anyway.
It
was a very exciting weekend.
Moving on.
Yeah. Tonight we is going to extemporaneously tell the story of the legend of Sleepy Hollow. Ichabod Crane was a traveling school teacher. And he was short on work, and he saw a little town, Sleepy Hollow. And it was a funny thing about Sleepy Hollow. The sun never shone on it. There was always gray, overcast skies. Sounds like Northeast Ohio. Yeah, Seattle. And he rode into town on his horse. Clippity-clop, clippity-clop, clippity-clop. Hey, that was a good horse sound. Thank you. A little more. Clippity-clop, clippity-clop. Anyway, he crossed a covered bridge. But when he got to the town, all the doors and shutters was closed. The very few people he saw was pale, and when they got a glimpse of him, they quickly dashed inside and shut their door, and you could hear him lock it. Not a very welcoming place. But Ichabod Crane was not a very, he was not one of the beautiful people. And he was a little bit miserly, and he was a little bit cowardly. Finally, he met a little boy. And he said,
Little boy, why is everybody so weird in Sleepy Hollow?
And the little boy said, Oh, haven't you heard about the Headless Horseman?
The Headless what?
Horseman. Are you hard of hearing?
Go on.
Well, anyway, the Headless Horseman rides through the night and he terrorizes Sleepy Hollow. Sometimes people feel... Oh, wait, there's that dog again. Sometimes people say they think he has a pumpkin in one arm and a sword in the other.
Oh dear.
Anyway, everyone's been a little skittish.
Well, I'm Ichabod Crane and I'm seeking a job as a school teacher.
Oh, that's perfect. I'll go tell the mayor.
Why is it perfect?
Because our last teacher was killed by the Headless Horseman. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Oh!
Well, I don't believe in Headless Horsemen and I don't believe in ghosts.
You're on camera,
So, I will take the job as school teacher. And I will teach everybody, and I will not be afraid of the Headless Horseman.
So, as things developed, Ichabod Crane met one of the wealthy landowner's daughters. And her name was Anastasia. And she was very beautiful and very graceful. She played piano and told witty jokes, and she had read probably a little bit more than Ichabod Crane. He was quite smitten with her. Smitten? Yeah, that means that she really knocked his socks off. Oh, wow. Anyway, There was a Halloween party at her father's house that night, and he had been invited, and his intention was to woo the landowner's daughter. But there was another man who wanted to win her heart. Brom Bones. Brom Bones was everything Ichabod Crane was not. He was tough. He was big. He could ride a horse with no hands, and he could put the reins in his teeth like, what's that guy's name? Rooster Cogburn? Yeah, but that movie hadn't been made yet. So anyway, he was tough. Let's just say that. He did not like Ichabod Crane moving in on his girl. I'm Brom Bones, and I don't like Ichabod Crane moving in on my girl. That's what he said. So the night of the party...
Oh, it's so very nice to be here. Little boy, I want to thank you again for introducing me to everybody.
Oh, you're welcome. But if I were you, I'd be very careful tonight.
Why is that?
Because the full moon is out, and that was when the last school teacher was taken away by the Headless Horseman.
Oh dear.
Anyway, they had a wonderful time, and as Ichabod Crane was riding home that night,
Clippity-clop, clippity-clop, clippity-clop.
he seen a horrific vision.
Oh! Wait a minute. You're not a headless horseman. You're a ghoul with a scream mask.
For a moment he was emboldened, and he questioned the ghoul.
Why should I be afraid of you? There's a headless horseman roaming these parts. Don't you know that?
Oops, sorry, wrong form.
I thought as much.
And Ichabod Crane continued, put the black over your head. He continued on his ride home, but then he came to the covered bridge. If he could make it across the covered bridge, he knew he would be okay. But then, suddenly, the moon went behind some clouds. Uh-oh.
This is scary.
Ichabod Crane pushed that horse fast as he could. Suddenly the moon came out from behind the clouds. Ichabod Crane looked, and you know what he saw? Ah!
It's a headless horseman! Oh no!
And then the moon went behind the clouds, and all you could hear was, ah! Ichabod Crane screaming. Anyway, the next morning, Ichabod's horse found its way back into town, but Ichabod was nowhere to be found. People questioned around, but the only person who really knew what happened was the little boy. And while he didn't share it readily, whenever asked, he said, I'm afraid he was taken by the Headless Horseman. And that, my friends, is the legend of Sleepy Hollow.